My name is Farah Cogdell, and my primary craft is writing.
My name is Matthew Liu, and I am an actor, a music director, a composer, writer.
My name is Victoria, and I am a poet.
My name is Jessica Duan, and my craft is painting.
My name is Laura Sarama. I'm a dancer, singer, and I'm studying also acting.
My name is Renee, and I'm a writer and poet.
So I've always known that God put me on this earth for some sort of life in the arts.
I was looking for a particular group, something creative, something inspiring, and it took me a very long time.
I never had an art community before, especially a Christian one. I did my art in a more isolated way, and I didn't really have support.
I'm from Colombia, so I decided to move to New York 2 years ago. The path lately has been like a little crazy for me being an artist.
When I found Renew York, it was through one of the staff members at church. He brought me to a Christmas party. We had an opportunity to do service for the community. I felt the love, the compassion.
I first intersected with Renew York through my dear good friend Amy Pan. To find another Christian actor was so life-giving to me. Someone whose craft was not at the cost of their faith, but rather their faith was a huge central part that then enhanced their craft.
I've had cancer multiple times. Amy and Danielle rallied up everyone. We did wonderful house visits. They supported me while I was painting during chemo. They've been there for me.
Amy is definitely someone who displays a lot of humility and tender-hearted care. Danielle is a great teacher. She's also really good at bringing people together. Walks a fine line of being a really good friend, but then also calling out the truth.
Renew York has changed how I think about God, mostly through hearing Danielle's story. It's touched me on a personal level. It's brought the Bible to life, and now I guess I'm paying it forward.
Danielle and Amy have created a wonderful group where everyone feels intimacy, where everyone feels known. And I am so filled by the friendships that I have in Renew York.
The way that they care about everything that is done in the ministry, I think that is really, really important, because it's the way that I know God takes care of God of the heavens, and at the same time they're just taking care of each details of our lives. Not everybody takes the time.
They helped me with introducing me to community. It was a very dark time in my life. Now that I'm in this group, there's a lot to look forward to.
Not only with their home, they're generous with their food, they're generous with their time, they're generous with their networks. If they see a need, their way of thinking is, how can I help? Even though they're not persons of great means, they use what they have.
Amy and Danielle gave me a vision of my art being for the kingdom of God. I've always just felt like art was just me expressing my own self, just part of it. But now I feel like my art is also God's expression of beauty.
When I picture the essence of heaven, every craft and whatever each person does, it's like your job to cultivate that, and it's your job to put it out into the world and allow yourself to be that vulnerable, because you don't know how that could change someone's life. Almost like a greater dignity is what I kind of walk away with. It's really like a cool way to see yourself.
So Renew York holds 2 events every month. Some of them are about trees, other ones of them are deeply about faith, some of them are worship nights, other times there are movie nights or faith-curious artists to discover in a safe and open environment about spirituality. Christians who need further discipleship really pull apart the deep, deep, deep questions about Jesus and life.
One of the impactful events that meant a lot to me was there was this lady, she guided us through this painting process. It was healing and helped me wrestle with so many different emotions that I wasn't able to work through until that night.
There's a particular activity that was led by one of the members and it was in Amy and Danielle's apartment. There were these beautiful scarves. We had our marker and we sort of etched our experience of God on the cloth. And then I thought that would just be our keepsake, but it was a whole nother level when we draped each other. I didn't know how much of a tactile and sort of explosive, warm, comforting, reassuring, and vulnerable experience that would be. Being seen by another person, but also being covered with names and attributes of God. It was one of the most humbling experiences I've had.
I loved the trees teaching. It was about trees in the Bible, how they're representative of humans, of leaders, of nations, why fruit is so important, how he can transform weeds, and that's what we should hope for and expect. That was really essential for encouraging me through a really hard season in my life. I feel like I'm thinking about it all the time still.
Danielle's teaching about trees. Is this a new vision about things that you believe that you already know? You know, sometimes we can just lose the wonder.
I loved Danielle's evangelism class. It gave me the courage to go out there and talk about my faith, especially in an art setting, to talk about God for regaining the talent to paint again with a completely different hand. It's helped like have the art be a way to have non-believers see the beauty of God.
I've changed in how I pray. I try different things. I'm using the Bible as a source for a lot of the material that I'm coming up with, and I'm trying to bring it to life. Everything that we learn here, bringing the gospel.
While inviting other people in this ministry, I feel it has been really easy. Healing also from my experience from the past. I have a really close friend here, for example, that she is not Christian, but it was like in an event that we did. It was a candle making, and it was really beautiful because even after the event, she was like, I felt really nice, like the ambient there, like everybody was super open, super welcoming, and even if we talk about like our relation with God, opening a perspective to something that maybe she didn't know. Now she feels is a space that is safe and is welcoming whenever she wants to come back.
There have been many ways that I have been marginalized and othered as a Christian, but Amy and Danielle, they embraced me wholeheartedly. It was just really humbling to see leaders who didn't just talk the talk and sit on their high horse. I feel safe with a leader that has humility. And I think a leader that has humility has so much authority.
Really thank you, because maybe I don't know if you can dimension like the big impact that the ministry has in many lives, but it does. Someone that is here by myself, at least when I got here, and then now can count with a family that they are definitely. So really thank you.
To the supporters, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I want you to know that when you have contributed to Renew New York and to Danielle and Amy, are faithful to the call, they take God seriously, and they've always kept it to the gospel. They really do have a tireless, tenacious, loving spirit in everything that they do, and that's why it continues to grow as it does. So thank you so much for supporting them and us by extension.
To all the donors of Renew York, I want to thank you so much for your support. To have a career in the arts, to follow this calling that the Lord has given me, is very financially difficult. There have been many times that Amy and Danielle have been able to provide little things for me financially, whether it was to cover an event or to cover my ride somewhere, and that could not be possible without your help.
Thank you, supporters, for your generosity. Amy and Danielle's ministry means a lot, especially since they've done so much for me. This made me stronger in my faith, it's made me better at my art, and it's even brought so many evangelistic opportunities. So I hope you guys keep supporting, adding extra, and continue to make this beautiful ministry grow. I pray for Renew York to receive funding because they're doing such a big thing in the arts community. Yeah, it's changed my life.